All right. We're here. 223. 223.
2-3, huh?
2-3. I'm Gotti Jr. There's the CEO of J Concepts, coming off a successful weekend at Psycho Nitro Blast.
That's
Now
right.
we are heading to the J Concepts Northwest Carpet Nationals in Albany, Oregon.
That's it.
Race number 2 of the 2021 Carpet/Turf Series.
I'm impressed.
Team heading on out, trying to continue the world domination.
Or national domination.
In that case, national. All counts, though, towards the world domination.
Mm-hmm. You ever think about that? Like how sports and everything, they'll say you're the world champions. But
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I do think about it because you're always bringing it up in the chat.
Yeah, you know, like the... And I think they've, since everybody has tried to correct this, in the... you know, the NBA, they used to say we're the world champions. The NFL, we're the world champions. And, you know, I watch monster truck racing. They say we're the world champions, you know, and it's like, well,
not really.
Not really.
Well, the NFL says Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, I think
they do mix in the world champions now, though. I noticed.
Yeah,
I'm like, but
yeah, I think, you know, it's something people like, or those leagues or anything they try to throw in there because it makes it sound more credible. I mean, but I think as you move along, they want to correct that a little bit. You know, you're the Super Bowl champion, you're the NBA champion. The only thing I will say about some of the sports like the NBA is there's players from around the world in it.
There you go.
So you could say that it is the best players from the world competing. But that's tough. You know, I know when when you win an RC, if you win the IFMAR Worlds in RC, you are the world champion because everyone, you know, that's from the world. So you can say world champion. But
okay, yep.
We're one of the rare sports you can win a world championship in.
So we shouldn't be saying that in the NBA and NFL.
No, you shouldn't really.
All right.
You could say, I mean, in the NBA, you could say the world's best players and competitors. You could probably say that.
Are you excited for the NBA play-in tournament? What's it called? Play-in tournament?
I didn't know anything about it until you brought it up.
Yeah.
And when you brought that up, you're like, well, you know, if the Lakers drop all the way down to 8th or, you know, 9th or whatever, they can. I'm like, what? I'm like, I never heard of this.
Well, it's not exactly the idea that I emailed to them, but yeah, they're trying something different. So.
Did they use some form of your idea though?
Some form of it. I'm going to say like 40%, 43%.
Okay.
Some form of my idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Kevin says individual sports are world champs.
Individual sports. So like if you're doing it individually.
Yeah.
So if you're like figure skating or like
figure skating,
you know, something like that. Like
yeah. Where's my Nancy Kerrigan why drop? Remember that one?
Why?
Why? All right, we got questions, comments rolling in.
Okay.
We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Just search Radio Impound. Give us a sub. Really helps us out. Or thumbs up. How's it go? Give us a sub. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And also the audio version comes out later tonight. So wherever you get your podcast, listen there. Jason says he's not even home from work yet. What the hell you guys doing?
It's the advantage of doing this from work.
John Bolton says, dang, too early at work.
He'll be still watching.
We were actually going to go even earlier.
Yeah.
Jason would have got back from Starbucks in time.
That's right.
Pete Phillips says, well, no sleep for a while now.
So he's going to be watching. He's
going to stay up to watch us.
That's good.
It's well worth it.
It is.
You could sleep while you're driving or something, Darren wants to know, Jason, will you be running the 40 over mod class at the Northwest Nationals?
You know what? I actually am. I got my stuff packed today. I was just trying to think today when the last time I actually raced was.
It's been quite a while.
It's been a while. I think it was December. No. Yeah, it was December. December was the last time I raced. So we'll see if I got anything. But I got my car out. I got my equipment. I downsized my toolbox, put it in one of our bags. Got my charger bag. Tires are there. I got some wheels, glue. We're good.
You're all set.
Radio. I got my radio.
Don't forget that.
Got the radio.
You did forget that at one race, right? Or went missing?
I actually forgot it on a plane once.
Yeah, that's it.
Never got it back.
Wow.
Here we go.
So we got Justin Juber says this show better not be 3 hours this time.
And it just wouldn't be complete without Darren mentioning the 96 Nats.
Darren Gimlin, yes, 96 Nats all over again. Every episode, 96 Nats makes
it. Somehow or another.
That's right.
It's not even intentional.
No.
Kirby cheering for Scott Hughes because of Futaba Radio. The bag I use, Kevin, is the one we call the money bag.
Hold on here. Let me put this so you're getting ahead of me.
Oh, sorry.
All right,
you got to read them.
Says,
yeah, you got to read them because I forgot it's audio.
Kevin says, what bag does he use for tools?
What I did is I took my toolbox and I went in there and I just grabbed the essentials and I put them in our money bag, we call it. It's like this big, Like,
money bag.
Yep. You know how the way we started with it is my mom used to work at a bank, and you know how they used to give you the little zipper bags?
Yeah, with the lock on it?
Well, this one didn't have a lock. It it was like
just a regular bag with a zipper on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we called it a money bag, and we made a J Concepts version. Our newer ones actually are in the carbon looking material. So I put all my tools in there.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, it's like compared to my toolbox, like the ease of.
I didn't see that in the box of goodies that you sent me.
Well, yeah. Sorry.
I got my new J Concepts hat on.
You guys got a pretty nice little GIF.
Actually not wearing my new J Concept shirt, but yeah, I got a nice little gift package there. Bunch of the J Concept stuff. And then somehow these photos made it into the bag.
That's part of my packaging materials.
The monster truck Bigfoot there.
The first one, Bigfoot 7.
Which one's that? This one?
No, the first one you showed.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah.
This is Bigfoot 7?
From Anaheim, California.
Okay.
Roughly around 1988.
Oh, that's 88? Okay.
No, let me see. Might be 89.
And then what's the second one?
That's Bigfoot 19.
Bigfoot 19. I can never get these like, what am I looking at? Okay, Bigfoot 19. What are they up to now?
22, 21.
All right, so every year. Then I got a Chuck Norris photo in the box that Jason sent me.
That's Lone Wolf McQuade. That's a shot from Lone Wolf McQuade.
Right. Jason was dressed up as that at the Halloween episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a Be like Mike.
Oh yeah.
Be like Mike. Bet on it. No, it doesn't say, but it says be like Mike.
Honestly, the first thing I thought about doing was trying to print out the bet on it one and
Right.
put that in there. But when I just typed in be like Mike, and that's what came up. So that's what it is.
It's
Just kidding.
terrible. Terrible. Didn't enjoy that. That was on the bottom too. It wasn't so like I had to dig down there and yeah, that's throw them over there.
You can frame them later.
Huh?
You can frame
them. That. Yeah,
frame them.
Yeah, I'll frame them. I'll get right on that. Let's see what else we got here. Bruce Campbell, Larry D. What's up? Oh, he's using my name, real name there. My stage name. Bruce is a good friend of mine. We go back in the day of racing, late 80s at our local track here. And real good guy. Bruce is a fan.
Pete Phillips mentioned we had the flashback I did yesterday of the 2015.
Oh yeah, I did see that on Instagram, and I happened to make a comment on that. That was the race I received the aluminum turnbuckles?
Yeah, that was the race. I let you drive my car with the aluminum turnbuckles.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, whatever. I'm done with that story.
You got around okay.
I was doing good, and then I'm like, I broke, and then like a turnbuckle, like I broke. I was ready to just leave because I was like, I snapped a titanium turnbuckle. I mean, really? All I did was coming off a jump, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was
I didn't hit anybody. I didn't crash into anything. I was just coming off a jump. Yeah. And then I come to find, and Jason's like, oh, well, that was just, that's how we draw them up first with the aluminum. I was like, you could have put titanium on those. I haven't raced in 18 years.
Yep.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I'm, just laying in bed late at night. It pops in my mind sometimes. I'm like, I traveled all the way out. I think it was like 5-6 hours. Because I was excited. I was gonna get on the track for the first time. And yeah. Wait, no, where was I here? P. Phillips says, even had the last known pick of Gotti Holden and RC Radio. Bruce Campbell might have a pick of me holding.
Really?
I don't know, man. We used to take group photos. We used to have it was a club that I belonged to, and we used to do the point series, summer point series, winter point series. Then we'd have a banquet at the end of the year. It was really awesome, man. It was a good time.
That's how we did it. That's when I started racing. We had a club point series, and we had club meetings. Was it once a week? I think once a week there was club meetings.
Might have been, yeah. Me and my dad used to go to the meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, those were good days, man.
That was a big part of racing then, was that's why they're called club races.
Right.
Like it's funny because now there's very little club activity. There's some, but nothing like there was in those days. And yeah, once a week my mom would drive me to this club meeting, and we would just sit in there and listen to whatever business was going on, or we're going to do this, and we're going to have a track rebuild, so make sure to come out and work on the track. And everybody was on the same page. Today it would be like some kind of group, right? On you'd be just on the group on Facebook or something. It would be like, yeah, I came to the meeting. Yeah. So it was a big part of it. And then what we would do is you'd end up going to eat, right? That's part of it. You go somewhere to eat after that, and spend more time with the racers.
Making me miss the good old days.
Yeah, I mean it was good, and then you go run the race and run the club races, and it was definitely was a good way to keep people on the same page back then. And it was voluntary.
Yeah, everybody just volunteered their time, man.
Mm-hmm.
To work on a track, keep things going.
Yeah, we built a lot of tracks back then. I know Paul Wynn. I mean, he used to travel a long ways to come work on tracks and build tracks, and it's then we would go to Lake Park, and then we'd go to Tampa, and then we'd go down there and race and do things down there, and so that was kind of the model club for a while. Was they called it the West Coast RC Club at Lake Park, Lutz, Florida, was the West Coast RC Club. They were the ones that put on the Winter Champs. And,
the West Coast RC Club.
Yeah, West Coast of Florida.
Ah, gotcha.
It's always like, to me, yeah, it was always kind of strange too. But yeah, West Coast RC
what you did there. I like what they did. Okay. It probably was confusing a little bit there.
Yeah. Look at Alex.
Alex Sturgeon. What, you mean I couldn't just show up and complain about something? I had to be useful. Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, I mean,
there was people that we had some issues with some people, but for the most part, everybody pitched in and did their thing to get the races ready for Sunday.
The important thing in doing that is what I experienced back then was there's the people's personalities that were the bosses, right? They wanted to dictate what was going to happen when you're out there working on this new track or something, and we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and go over, let's do this, and and then it wasn't, you didn't have the after the fallout later on, like today, if you were to do something like that, and then the fallout would be you get on social media later and go, well, I went to help him work on the track, but that guy wouldn't let you do anything. He had to be the expert, and he told us where to put this jump. And I gave my opinion that should be a double and not a triple. And
yeah,
I'm nobody over here,
Yeah, screw him. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm going to build my own track.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to put him under. Put that club under.
Yeah. But for them back then, it was great because you didn't have the internet and all that in the forums and stuff, because it was just like, if you were going to talk smack, it was just with your buddies, and then you went back next time, or you just never showed up again.
Yeah.
So for the most part, it went pretty well. And what I found myself doing was, unless somebody asked, I would just pick things that I would like concentrate on and be like, okay, I'm going to work on this jump. And then I just would make the jump the way that I wanted. Gator history. We'll pull that one up. But yeah, so you kind of pick your thing, and I mean, Alex, I'm sure I don't even know how many tracks he's probably built. He's probably built 100+ tracks, I would imagine. So he's got to run out of ideas at some point in that building, but he came up with the rhythm section for our race there in February, and that seemed to be a hit.
BBQ says, Jason, living in Florida, has there been any gator history / incident during RC?
No, I've never seen a gator at the track.
See him on the golf courses all the time.
What's strange is down at Coral Springs, the track there at Coral Springs RC Club, for some reason they get those like, God, I can't remember. They're like big lizards. Yeah. Iguanas, I think they're called iguanas.
Yeah, I posted a video the other day of the one in your neighborhood there. It was climbing shells at the store.
These things, yeah, we were pitting back the regional several years back, and these things just come out and hang out. They didn't really get near us, but that's the closest thing that I've seen to. And like climb in the trees right by the water right there by Coral Springs, and all of a sudden you just hear one fall out of the trees right into the water.
Really?
Yeah. They're big. They're a little scary.
Yeah.
You're kind of looking around when you're in your pits, making sure that when you're wrenching, one's not just like hanging out right there.
Yeah. Chris says someone check Gotti for a fever. As 2 times in a month he's posting a show. I feel like he may have caught something. The Puxatani virus. Got that.
Was that last year or this year?
That was last year. I caught that last February.
Okay.
The Puxatani virus.
You know what you're supposed to say? I think I had that COVID last February.
Yeah, I know.
Before everybody knew what was going on, I think I had it back then.
Yeah, we joke around about Puxatani virus, but I think I did have the COVID back then, dude.
There you go.
Come on, man. I drove myself down to the hospital. I never do that. I don't go to the doctors for nothing.
Okay, so you were serious. That time. You were serious.
Well, I was texting. I was like, dude, I think I'm done. It's over. 103 temp.
Roads were slippery.
May rest in peace. So yeah, club racing. I miss it. It was a good time.
I have a picture of.
I was gonna say, I just think I have some photos. I should share them sometime.
I have a photo on my phone that my mom took getting my first club series award. At the end they would have the banquet.
Yeah,
and they'd give out the awards.
God damn, we did the same things, man. You just lived in Florida and some PA.
Stock truck is the first class I raced.
And you were good at racing. I wasn't. So, anyway.
Let me see. I think I won. I think I won the first series I ran, stock truck. Let me make sure. I remember it was a big thing too. Like you're just like, "Ooh, is this weekend a series race?" Like now it's like a super cup.
Right.
Like now it's like, "Oh, is this a series race or not?" Back then it's like you did it within your club, and it was like, it was important.
Yeah. Actually, and Bruce can back this up because I know, Jason, you may think I'm bullshitting you, but I was a good local racer. That's it. Like you get me out. Like I said this before, you get me outside of my track. I was just trash. I don't know. I shouldn't say it was trash, but I wasn't competitive. But Bruce can back that up. Bruce, get in the comments again and back me up here, man. I was good. I won point series. I remember going to the first banquet I ever went to, and I didn't. I joined the point series late, so I wasn't even in the top 3. And they were handing out the trophies, and back then they were giving you, huge trophies for winning points.
Mm-hmm.
And I was probably 12 at the time.
Okay.
And I remember telling my dad, like, I'm winning. I want that trophy so bad next year. I'm winning it. I'm winning point series. And sure enough, I did. And I think I won a total of 4 or 5 point series. I think Bruce, Bruce, get in here and just back that up, will you?
He's like,
anybody else that's.
What's up, Matt Morris?
Matt Morris checking in.
Yeah, I mean, I think. I remember it being, it was definitely serious, like you said, and you knew there were good awards. And
yeah, I wanted that trophy, man. I saw it. I was like, damn, I want that.
What was interesting was I remember when I was doing that series, and then at the club meetings, they started talking about how they put in a bid to have the state championships. And I was like, whoa, state championships, like, what's that all about? And so I signed up. I was new.
My neighbor's mowing grass. It's getting closer. Anyway, go ahead.
I was running the club series, and they started talking about the state championship, and I was just like, I got to race in the state championship. Then the RC10T came out, and I remember I had that in the modified truck class, and I ran modified truck, and then I ran two-wheel buggy. Yeah, it was. And then when you got there to the state championships, it was just amazing how many people were there. It was packed.
Yeah. So I started with the Tamiya Hotshot. Quickly realized when I went to the track that I wasn't going to compete with that, and my dad surprised me the one night with the Optima Mid SE. 4-wheel drive was a big class in our area back then. So
yeah.
And the first race with my Optima Mid, I won. I won the race, and then I took off from there, and I won that whole point series that year.
Swept it.
Dominated. And then I was going for the back-to-back, and to me back then that was awesome. Like, like back-to-back.
You're like the Lakers.
Like the Lakers, right? And then you had these little motivational things on your toolbox. It said back-to-back, I was going for it. I was all into it, man. Loved it. Well, there you go. Nick just asked, what did you drive, Gotti? So, yeah, I mean, I originally went to that first race with actually, I might have went there, practice with the Tamiya Hotshot, and then I quickly realized I needed another car, but I didn't think I was going to get one. I think I drove a couple races with it, and then the one day my dad surprised me. He came home and he said, "Hey, can you go out in the car and get the rest of the groceries?" And when I went out to the car, opened up the trunk, there was the Optima Mid SE there. And that was an awesome moment. Pretty cool. So
dude was tricky, huh?
Yeah. Never forget that. It's really cool. Couldn't wait to build it. Right away we started building it, and it was great. It was one of those times that you got to do something with your dad, build a car kit. We built the Hotshot, and then we built the Mid SE. And so my dad, when he wasn't busy, took me to the races. If he couldn't take me, someone else did, and it's good times. I'm gonna tear up over here.
Who takes you to the races now?
Nobody.
Oh, okay.
Drive myself. Speaking of, you coming up for the LCRC Flashpoint race this weekend? Season opener? Oh, that's right. You're going to Oregon. Never mind.
Yeah, going to Oregon.
Should I go there and represent or what?
Somebody's got to.
Yeah. Club racing. There you go.
I remember the first time I went outside of Gore, which was my local track. Greater Orlando Auto Racers is what it was called, GOAR. We went to Tampa at Lake Park, and I had a RC10 two-wheel buggy in my stadium truck. And I remember racing at that was the first time racing at a different track, and they had these step downs coming on the front straightaway. Like you'd step down one and step down another one and come on the front straightaway. And if you I remember running my RC10, if I landed on one side, the dog bone would pop out.
Oh.
And I remember telling the guy from the hobby store, I'm like, yeah, I keep popping out these dog bones off of this step down. And he's like, trying to make up these excuses why I was doing that. And I was just like, later I figured out, I'm like, because he had the shocks on the inside, too far in, and it had too much down travel. So the dog bones were popping out.
Right.
You know what? Cliff Lett might have helped me with that later at Winter Champs. I don't remember. I know that. Remember them telling us that we had the car set up all wrong.
Who did?
The guys in the Associated Pits. They were like wanting to change the whole car.
Yeah, you were lucky. You had Associated drivers by you.
Well, that was for the big race. They came in for Winter Champs. They came in for Winter Champs, and then it was just like.
I mean, I'm living out in the middle of nowhere, and yeah, we didn't have any of that. So, Daniel says, when you were a kid, everything was big. I still remember that feeling a week before a race. It was hard to sleep, and it's all you thought about.
Yeah, it really is.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, that's all I thought about.
Mm-hmm.
From Sunday to Sunday, man. Like I was in school and I was just looking through car action. We've told this story 100 times, but looking through car action front to back to front, just reading it during school, going home, working on the car, getting it ready for something. I would tear down my car every week just to clean it up because I had that in my head. Like if I had everything all clean, it's going to be ready to go. And I knew those guys, the other guys, or I thought those other guys weren't going to spend the time like I would on my car. So I'd be ready for Sunday. And yeah, I loved it. Car action. Daniel says car action was like porn. It was. It was.
And when they would when they would put like the Clifflet car, that would be like the centerfold, right? Like
right. With the
like
swimsuit.
the Clifflet car.
The
Masami
Haslam
car. Yeah. Then you had the Masami car, or whoever that
was. Oh, okay. Right.
You'd open it up. Man.
The Trinity ads, man, those were awesome back then. I was like, damn.
Trinity ads.
Come on. Show some love for my boys at Trinity.
Oh man.
But you got a guy on your team that runs for Trinity? Let's go.
We have a lot of guys that run for Trinity.
There you go, Trinity. Comeback time, baby.
I mean, it is different because, for me, especially when I got more into it, for us, Trinity was the competition. Mm-hmm. That was the company we were trying to beat all the time. And we raced off, we did off-road a little bit, I did a little on-road, never any oval, Kirby always bags on the Reedy motors because they weren't, he always thinks they were horrible or slow, but and probably an oval probably were.
Nick says that was back before Car Action got obsessed with scalers.
Yeah, I mean, I think the situation with RC Car Action is, they just got replaced by the internet, unfortunately, like a lot of other things. And I mean, I am still so surprised that they still have it, that it still exists, and people subscribe to it, and that it's still in the market, because for as long as maybe you could have converted that format into some type of an online thing, I'm surprised that it's still around. And we get it here, and there's really not much. It's not really, there's nothing in there. I mean, it's really thin. There's ads and a few articles, but it just used to be everything. And
yeah,
and maybe that's the problem, being in my generation or your generation, because you're from a time where it was everything, and it's more disappointing looking at it than it is. Look at Alex.
Yeah, Alex Sturgeon says, I got my first referral in high school because I wouldn't put down my RC Car Action mag. Yeah, I never got, like, teachers just told me to put it away or whatever. But
yeah, I remember going to we met with the Car Action people in the this was probably like 08, 09. And I remember talking about, a format you could have in order to, because the problem that I saw was the racing versus the bashing versus, then there's touring car, off-road. There was rock crawling then, is what it was called. They didn't go to scaling and all that stuff till later, but the problem was, I think you needed some way to cater it to what people's interest levels were. And, we had talked about it when we were there, different ways you could do it and turn it into online, something that could be done online. But there is still something I love pictures. Like I really like pictures. I like printing them out. I had showed that earlier.
Yeah.
I printed
Yeah.
out the pictures for you. I still like photos and I like pictures and I like framing pictures. And there's something about holding the magazine in your hand and looking at it that I think is kind of special. Um, but I think it's just there's something that's just not it's just not the same anymore. It's just because now you probably would have your magazine open and your phone with the other hand, right? You'd be thumbing
Yeah.
through your magazine, you'd be looking at your phone with your other hand. And so I think, you could see that happening quite a bit. But it used to be big for those race events to be in car action. Uh, when Winter Champs issue came out in the magazine, man, that was just so big. Um, it used to be the place you'd go for your info. It's You saw the highlights of race events, you saw new car reviews, you saw how to do things, and that's the first. I remember the how to build a diff with Cliff Lett, right? It's like that was in there, and building stuff with Gil Losi Jr., and that was a big thing.
The Losi tips. Remember those?
Yeah, that was that was called. Was it called Tech? It
Yes.
wasn't Tech Talk. It was
That was just Losi.
Alex Sturgeon will know, or Chili. They'll
Yeah.
know. There was that little column. They had the little column,
Yep. Right.
and yeah, and it's like they throw a little tip in there, like your ride height or adjusting this or that or your diff or something they would put in there, and that was useful. They made it it was an ad, but
Jason says car action lost my money when it was a T-Max and E-Max all day, every day.
maybe it was Tech Tips.
Yeah, I think it was Tech Tips. Yeah, Alex says he thinks it was Tech Tips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there was that era that Jason's talking about is like the late 90s when that T-Max hit, it just changed everything in the business at the time, and they succumbed to the pressure.
Jason, you're a little blurry there. Are you downloading something?
Nope.
All right. Because my connection's really good, so I don't know if you had something going on in the background. Matt says, I honestly would still like to read through a car action like the way it used to be versus a online site. So I'm assuming it's the same online, right? Like, do they have an online version? Or do they have, like, you go to car action and there's more info about races in there and stuff, or they just don't print it? Or
I don't think so. I think they're.
I saw Chili was in here. Chili Duncan, get in here.
Yeah, he's got to explain what's going on.
Yeah. I did bust them the one day though, because I went to my grocery store here and they had a car action sitting there, and it was like I picked it up and it's like, whoa, it started floating down to the floor like. Yeah, Alex says car action does not cover races anymore, which is a shame. I don't know. I guess they can't. I guess they don't send people to races.
Justify it.
Oh, okay.
They couldn't justify it because of the expense of sending people there, and then there's too many races now, right? So back then, if there was only in the late 80s, early 90s, you only had to hit 4 or 5 races and you kind of covered the year. But now, where would you start and end?
Well, I thought they would do it online.
Yeah, it's just and that's when essentially the transition was when Neo Buggy and Red RC started taking over and doing a lot of the news and the events on their website. That's when Car Action just decided to get out of it altogether, because Neo Buggy and Red RC were concentrating on that content, and people were going there to see that. So they concentrated on the content that wasn't time sensitive. They could do reviews and different things, and they knew the race content and the race stuff. It was going to take them months to get that out, in the flow, and it just by then people already knew what happened, and there was probably 3 other races in between. So, yeah.
Daniel says what was interesting was what's new and what people doing with their car. If it was a month from when the race was, you have the same info within the house. I just remember waiting, you would wait, I think 2 or 3 months to find out who won the Worlds.
I called Associated.
Yeah, I used to call Trinity too. Did Joel win? Did Joel win? RJ says, sweet, something to listen to while I mount another J Concepts body. There you go. When does Kirby come on for the good stuff? Hey, Kirby's not coming on. Never. I'm trying to get him to come on for the I want it, like I said last week, or whenever we were on last, I want to get Carpies on, Derek from Carpies, because those guys race oval, and I want to get Kirby on together so they could talk about oval and stuff. So
talk oval,
which I thought, before I started following Derek, I'm like, man, oval racing, when you're on his Facebook or Instagram, whatever, it's amazing that oval racing still actually, I mean, obviously not big as it was in the 90s, but man, those guys are racing hard every week. Yeah. So yeah, Kirby, I don't know when he's coming on. He's more than welcome anytime.
Yeah, there was 2 races per year that Car Action sponsored. They'd always sponsor the Reedy race, and they'd sponsor the Cactus Classic. And I want to say maybe they did Winter Champs at one point too, but I don't remember that one. But
Corey Jordan says, Gotti's at the track. I'm at PNB here.
Give him the left tire salute.
Left tire salute, Corey. Corey was there at the race. Yeah. I don't know how he placed, but I watched your live video when you were coming home.
Plus he had that photo with the Psycho girls.
Oh, that's right. Good job, Corey.
He knows what photos to get when he's there.
So yeah.
Yeah, I wrote down a couple things here.
All right.
What I had was to talk about PNB, and then of course the results and what kind of going on there. The NCTS, which is our race coming next weekend. We talked about it a little bit. And then the Super Cup, which is coming up. And then I saw they posted a new top 25 RC ranking today.
Oh.
I thought we could talk about that a little bit too.
Okay. All right. Let's just get to Chili real quick, because Chili did jump in here from Car Action. Chili Duncan from Car Action. Sorry, stepped away. There is the print magazine. Yes, we know that. There's also the PDF version of it too. There is the homepage, which contains some stories from the magazine, plus other content, news, etc. Then there is the Boost site, which has more exclusive online content.
I didn't know that one. I didn't know the Boost site. Is that like a industry term, Boost site?
I don't know. Corey, when you call into the show, 570-554-0877. That was your last chance to hear that too. So if you don't hear it, didn't hear it, you're out. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come on the show and explain all that to us. Defend Car Action, Chili. I saw Corey down here. Corey says I'm a couple days early for next year's race at PNB. RJ sounds like he is screwing up the J Concepts body, Jason.
Oh no.
He says, too bad I can't share pics of this hack job I got going on here.
So I just went to Car Action's website, and like the whole front page is Proline ads.
Okay. Well then, what are you gonna do? Is that it then? Nick says he loves the Car Action Boost archives.
Okay. Chili's event coverage is in here from our race last year. There's a coverage from 3 years ago at the Axial Fest. And then 4 years ago at the, so not exactly the event coverage, but like you said, they're not known for the event coverage. They're more known for the.
Well, there's a hell of a lot of you racers out there. You know, like the PNB got a lot of entries on it. You would think that there's still something there if you covered all these events. And you would get help to cover. There's a lot of races, but you think you can get help to cover them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think the guys would dig it, the racers.
Yeah, so Jimmy Simmons here mentioned our new carpet tires, the fuzz bites and the pin swags.
Okay.
Somebody was could have been a Kirby, but somebody on our Facebook page posted, "Who's naming these things?" or something like that. Anyway, I thought the fuzz bite was good. The pin swag, it was a combination of 2 tires. That's where the name came from.
Okay.
Because the tire is a combination of 2 tires. But anyway.
So is that what we're going to be using at the race this weekend?
No, actually, we have a control tire.
Oh, okay.
And the control tire is the Nessie rear tire and the Swagger fronts.
Okay. Nessie?
The Nessies, yeah.
The Nessies? Yeah. And the Swaggers up front.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the control tire there at Northwest Hobbies. So, yeah, we're excited about getting the new tires out too. We've been working on those a while. We've done a little testing. I think people will be happy with them. Paul, I did some running with Paul several months ago, and they worked well. Yeah, like Loch Ness Nessie. Yeah. So where that came from is the very first one of the ones we did was called Loch Ness. That was one of our first AstroTurf tires, actually. And there's a feature in the tire that has these like waves in the center, kind of like a little like vertical. If you're looking at it from the front, a little vertical bar, and it comes up and it comes up.
Okay.
So it reminded us of some of those photos and stuff you see of Loch Ness, where there's this thing that kind of comes out of the water. So that's where that came from, and then we picked the Nessie for the small version, just because Nessie sounds like a small version,
right? Okay.
But I think they're actually the same, right? The Loch Ness monster they actually call Nessie.
A guy lived in town here. He this is years ago, but he went up there searching for the Loch Ness monster. It was a former doctor. He had a lot of money. He spent over $30,000-$40,000 on this boat with all this shit for it. This is the 90s, early 90s.
Okay.
And he comes into my uncle's hardware store, and he's telling me all about it. He was getting ready to go off and look for the monster. I said, well, let me know how that works out. You know, man, I was interesting. I mean, he was telling me the whole story behind it. He said, I know it's up there. I'm going to find it. I didn't hear back from him. I mean, maybe
it's kind of like finding the Sasquatch or the Bigfoot.
But, right. Yeah. There was a team of those guys that did that out here too.
Was a team of those.
Yeah. I live in a weird area. What are you going to do? All right. Rob Sturgill said he ordered those tires already. I don't know which one he's talking about. I guess the
new tires.
Yeah. The new ones, whatever new ones there.
So
good job, Rob. Keep ordering, by the way.
So
mistake. All right.
we had the 3 pro classes, the winners there. We had
Wait, what are we talking about now?
PMB results.
Oh, okay, yeah. Great.
So yeah, Spencer Rivkin won the Nitro Truggy class and the Pro E-Buggy class. Nitro Truggy was a 30-minute main, and E-Buggy was a single 10-minute main. And then Ty Tessman won the single main Nitro Buggy class. So those were the 3 pro winners. So it was good to see. I mean, Spencer actually, I think he had a really good chance of winning Pro Nitro Buggy too, but he had in the warm up he broke a shock piston that they couldn't get fixed in time. So the piston inside the shock body broke. So he had one shock with no damping. Damn. And so it's just out there. You know how it is. Doing, 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 doing. So,
yeah.
So he, I think he ran the whole race, but with only the 3 shocks working, he wasn't really that competitive, which it really actually kind of surprised me that he couldn't get higher than he did. But I guess the car just, it shows you that I'm sure if you had something, like even if there was like the feeling of like 20 weight or something, like he would have been somewhat competitive, but just having nothing but spring on that shock just pretty much took him out of contention. You know, guys doing low 40-second laps, maybe into 39s and buggy. And I think he was doing 41s. So when in the last round of qualifying, him and Dakota were the fastest. So yeah, showed you that break a shock piston. You're not
good.
You're not getting up there.
Or turnbuckle.
You know, one time I was at a race with Brian Kinwald, and he asked me to set his RC10 out. He was comparing his aluminum tub RC10 and his graphite car. This is the Rohrnats. And he went out and ran both of them. And, you know, we came back and kind of determined that the aluminum chassis car looked like it was working better. I think this was the 93 Roar Nationals. So he's like, set these both out, get some lap times on me, and we'll come back and determine if, you know, I want to run the graphite chassis car or the aluminum tub chassis car. All right, get it done, get his lap times, bring him back. And I'm like, well, you were faster with the tub chassis car. He's like, all right, well, I guess I'm running that. And then I'm looking at his car and I'm like, hey, one of your shocks isn't working. Like, and back then when we had E-clips, you know, the E-clip was on top of the piston. His E-clip came off. So he had one shock with no damping. So, So he was faster with the tub car, the aluminum chassis car, even with really 3 shocks. But
wow.
So anyway, but it's not 93 anymore. And
no,
and the track is like that track there behind you that they just ran on is probably, you know, 4 times the size of the track we were at back then. So tiny track. RCH. Was it RCH? I'll remember the name of it. RCO. That was at RC Off-Road, was in Fountain Valley, California. That's where that race was. Tiny track.
RCO.
RCO.
Okay. There was an RCO out here too in Pennsylvania at one time. RC Outfitters.
The Outfitters.
Yeah.
So PMB, 810 entries.
Wow.
810 entries. That usually equates to about 400 and something people. Was in White Pine, Tennessee. Indoor building.
24-hour practice, I heard. So is that what they normally do?
Yeah.
So you just go up there and you can run
as much whenever you want.
You don't have to look for a frequency clip anymore?
Nope. You run whenever you want. Which obviously that changed RC a lot too, right?
Yeah.
When you went to this 2.4, because there used to be control on this, how many people could be on the driver stand and frequencies and all that stuff. And as we talked about before, the first time I rolled up to the Winter Champs when I was a kid, I started racing in October of 90, and the Winter Champs was in February. So I'd been racing, roughly 5 months. I show up to Winter Champs with my mom, and we pull in the road there at Lake Park, and I look, and they had a line for every frequency. That was to get on the driver stand. So, like, say you're on 27 band, and you were running like whatever frequency, 27,255 or whatever blue was. It was something like that, 27,255. You would have to have a line to stand in for your frequency. So it wasn't like you would just go up to the driver stand. Oh, if there's an open spot, you get in there. It was you had to go up and stand in a line before you could get on the driver stand just to get your frequency. And yeah, it's just a lot of those things that just I don't really think about that often. But and then if you were running, if you were out there practicing and somebody turned their radio on, you would just go crazy.
Remember? Yeah.
There you go. Who's on
like 84? Emmy says, who's on 84?
That's exactly right. I mean,
everybody shouting.
And that's when people, that was usually one of the big excuses back then too, which radio glitch, right? I got a radio glitch.
Yeah. I used it a lot.
There you go. So it was like, oh man, I was going off that jump and my car just went on. I mean, somebody must have turned. Yeah, I don't know how many times people would say, "Oh, somebody must have turned the radio on when I was running my qualifier."
Right. Glitched. Car was dialed until it glitched everywhere.
But it was you had to rely on people being. I mean, it was so tough because in order to do much with your RC cars in the pits or anything, you had to turn it on to see your trim and maybe you're doing something. So you might be doing that in the pits and somebody might be on the track driving, right?
Right.
And everybody did it, I know, because
they were like, screw this, I'm checking it.
Yeah. You're just in the pits and you're like, you kind of turn it on. You're just like, and you're just like, oh, I'll check it real quick and then be done. And people did that a lot. And that's why they had radio impound.
Right. Oh, damn. I didn't think about that.
Freaking full, freaking full circle. We're writing a book here. But yeah, so radio impound, that's where the whole thing is from, because at a big race, they would impound your radio so you couldn't turn it on in the pits and affect people at a race.
Right. But you pros had the illegal frequencies, didn't you?
I did have those. And
what band was that?
I had 26925 was my frequency. We used to call them funnies.
Okay. All right.
So there was a guy, I don't know if it's been 25 or 30 years, can you reveal? Anyway.
Nah, don't. That's better not.
Okay, well, so anyway, yeah, 26925 was my funny frequency. So that was between, I want to say it was between Brown was 26995 and whatever the one was above that, my frequency was 26925. So I could go up there with, and this was after you were a pro. I didn't have that when I started, but
right.
But back then you would see Cliff Lett would go up there and just turn his stuff on and set his car down. Like, he had the funnies, right?
Yeah.
And if somebody asked you, hey, what frequency on? Funnies. Everyone's just, oh, okay. It was a big thing. They worked great. And it got to the point where you would race with them because, I would run large events sometimes where I'd race with it because I felt like there was less chance of somebody, turning on while you were racing and affecting what was going on. So I think I had 2 sets of those crystals, we called them, right?
Or just probably a cleaner reception.
I don't know. They worked amazing. I mean, I got so much practice, using them back then. But the old, radio impound. That was a big job. They had to have 2 or 3 people running it radio impound. You'd go up there. They'd usually do it with like a poker chip or something, right? You'd have a number on it. So there was a spot like in a shed. That's what they had at Winter Champs. They had a shed with numbered shelves. So they'd put your radio in spot, say 27, and you'd have the chip. Hold on. I got some.
Will says FM 27 band.
Yeah, that's what I always ran, 27 band. I felt like it seemed, for whatever reason, when I was on off-road, the pro guys, I always used 27 band. But the Futaba guys like to run 75 for some reason. But I always ran 70 or 27 band.
Okay.
Yeah, PMB 810 entries. And I don't think that's their largest one. I think they've had 900 there before.
Wow. Damn.
Will Britton, cool that he's on here. I mean, that's even, these frequencies and stuff. He probably ran a little bit with that, but
RJ says the large dirt oval races I attended in the past, we'd have to do controlled practice with colored clips and or by heats.
Yeah, sounds right.
Guys would take the frequency clip, take the clothespin. We used to have the clothespin ones, take it back to the pits with you. And
well, yeah, that was the other cheat.
Yeah,
that was the other cheat. Is like if you were, say, you're on, like for me, it was frequency blue, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, you go up for a practice run, and you're just thinking, you're like, nobody else is on blue. I'll just keep my clip. And then when you go up there and you just run again without getting it, yeah, there was a lot of tricks back then.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Stuff today that just doesn't even exist. There's just no such thing. Bring your own clip. There you go. Yeah. I never did that. I never got that far,
but Randy says, do you remember to dial frequency receivers and modules?
Yeah, I remember Novak had one where you would just, like a screwdriver, and you turn it to what you were on. I don't think I ever used them, but
that had to be pretty innovative when that came out.
I remember it not working very well.
Really?
I remember the people having a lot of problems with the Novak one. That was such a huge complaint.
That doesn't shock me.
Remember glitching? Just
it
was. I mean, half the races Kinwald lost, he blamed it on glitching, I think. I mean, seriously, that's not even a big exaggeration. Like, I remember him running the Winter Champs and he'd be switching speed controls, or he'd have an antenna on his car this long, and there is video of him running that race with that antenna. And you just say, hey, if he had a bad qualifier or something, he'd say he was glitching. And after a while, it was like the kid crying wolf, right? Like, because you're just, you never believed if it was true or not. But that's $27 for.
Robbie says crystal sets were like $27, and I had to have at least 3 sets.
Yeah. Remember the little? Then you'd have the
little clear case.
Yeah, where you put the crystals in there.
Yeah,
that was like a whole nother pit accessory that you had to have.
Yeah, who made those? Like with the pink foam inserts?
Sato, I think, was one of them.
Yeah, that's the ones I had.
Is it Sato? Is that what it was? I think
something like that. But that's the ones I had for the motors too.
What Chili's talking about here? I don't remember that. Maybe that.
Chili says, "Remember stocking up on glitch busters?"
I don't remember
on the early days of Spectrum.
I don't remember the glitch busters. Was that something you had to hook to the car? Maybe he'll say, but I don't remember that. I remember the name.
Glitch Busters. Will Britton says I had the KO Propo that was synthesized. Whatever that means.
Yeah, I remember that advertisements. A large cap.
Will says he remembers the Glitch Busters.
Honestly, once I went to LRP with crystals, there was I had very little radio trouble ever. My LRP speed control with very little, if any, radio trouble ever. The people that ran the Novak stuff, for whatever reason, after the HPC, there was a hammer, and then they got into the crystals with the dialing in the frequencies. Man, they had so much trouble with all that stuff.
RJ says they plugged into the receiver.
Yeah, I know what they look like.
What are we talking about? The Glitch Busters?
Yeah, that's okay. They plugged into the receiver. I nobody's talking about. I can kind of I visualize what it looks like, but I never used it. Jason Santos, he used the pill organizer for his crystals. Yeah, that was big.
Corey Jordan says, do y'all think that old school radio AM or FM radio would work on today big outdoor indoor tracks?
I'm trying to remember the biggest 2008.
Oh, the last time you used them.
Yeah, what was the biggest track I ran like that? I'm trying to remember what that would be. Probably somewhere in the... Well, I remember when Spectrum brought the modules and the receivers to the Worlds in 2004. 2004 was when the Spectrum stuff came to the Worlds, and they had some guys, they gave it to the guys. I work with the FAA. There's a lot of commercial bleed over.
Chili says he has 5 of them if you're all interested. In the Glitch Busters? Okay. Nitro with FM would suck, Will says.
People did it too. I'm sure it did. I think that some of the radios would be fine with the range. Because I remember running big 8-scale races, and I remember Mark running a race where it was okay and it was fine. So I think the range was fine. What I remember was one of the races I went to, first race I ever ran 8-scale. I was pitting with Mark, and I was building a Mugen car, and I put my, because I like the control practice was coming up fast. So I just put my receiver in the radio box, and I just basically servo taped it to the bottom of the radio box just to go run my my control practice run. And I got out there, and the 5th time it landed off of a jump, the thing just went wide open right into the driver's stand. And I come back, and he's like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "Well," I just put my receiver in there. And he's like, "Oh man, you gotta have all kinds of foam around it, and it's gotta have cushion." I'm like, "I just servo taped it to the thing."
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, that wasn't gonna work." What's a Ghostbuster besides the Mugen?
RJ says, what about Ghostbusters? I think we need more of them. Well, let me tell you. I think he's talking about the Ghostbusters, dude.
The actual show.
And forget that story. Never mind. All right. We're not going to go there. Ghostbusters. All right. Well, Chili says
I'd like to see a good Ghostbusters.
Chili says he has a Glitch Busters if you guys are interested. So
5 of them.
Take a photo of Chili and post it.
Yeah, see those Glitch Busters. I think people that ran Novak had to use a bunch of those, to be honest. I mean, I think it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me. I still hold a grudge against Novak.
You do?
Yeah, Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so PNB, did we with these comments we always get sidetracked here, but so Dakota won, Spencer won.
No, Spencer won 2 classes and Ty Tessman won the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Drake won 40 plus. That seems to be a great class for him, of course. And Paul said he was very quick also in the Pro Nitro buggy. Drake was legitimately leading a qualifier at times. I think he was 2 or 3 seconds off the fastest time.
Yeah.
See right there.
Got J-Concept tires on, that's why. Jason says, I think all the glitch busters were made and sold by Novak.
I told you.
Excellent. Yeah. What else we got?
So yeah, moving on from PNB, obviously we got the NCTS coming up this weekend, Northwest Hobbies in Albany, Oregon. So fly into Portland, then drive to Albany. We're going to have the race there. I believe this is like our 3rd or 4th year of having an event there. So it's going to be my first time there. So I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah. Let me pull up my there we go. Now I'm in Albany, Oregon. See that?
There you go. That's the driver stand we're going to have. They got our banners up there and ready. Those jumps look a little tough though in front.
You're in trouble.
You could be in trouble. There it is, Will Britton, made by Novak for Novak.
Rob came into the show late. Yes, Jason is racing. It's all set up. He's ready to rock. That's why we're doing the show a little early, because tomorrow he's leaving.
Yep.
And what class are you running, Jason?
I'm going to run 2-wheel mod and 40 plus.
Nice.
So I'm going to run the same car, 2 classes. Car's over here. I wish I had mounted some tires for it, but I don't know. I'll mount them when I get there.
Yeah. I'm sure you won't have any problem getting tires. Oh, it's a controlled tire. So.
That's right.
J-Concepts. Joe's there checking in.
Yep.
Check out his podcast, Ran Out of Talent. Hey, Rob, are you going to this race? Is Rob going to go to that race?
I don't know. Is he?
Sturgill, you got to go, right? Keep your points up. Then he go to the last one? Wasn't
he went to the dirt one.
Oh, the dirt one. Okay.
He's got to come to Florida for the next dirt one. So get on the plane, Rob. Come on to Florida.
Right. Exactly. And keep me up to date on his results. RJ's happy and to see you racing. He says, "Sweet, good luck."
I'm gonna need it.
Yeah.
Haven't ran since December.
The jumps behind me there, Jason. This way. Jason's gonna have trouble right there. He's gonna be hitting his own signs, his banners.
That does look tough. Put up the other photo I sent you of the track.
Did I put that in here? I'll check it out. I'll be right back. Talk among yourself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Rob, come on down to Florida.
Did you send that to me?
I should have.
In chat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me I'll go in here and look for it.
Don't put up the wrong one.
Right.
The wrong one of the track.
Right. Exactly.
Wrong one of the track.
Oh, right here it is. All right, let me save this and see what I can do here. This is the so expecting a good turnout.
We are. This Northwest Hobbies track is, I believe it's in a mall. And he's got tons of room. I think he's trying to give a run to RC Madness on the amount of different tracks you can have in one facility.
There we go.
That's it there.
Got most of it on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's inside a mall.
I believe so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. That's it. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Looks like got a little either coming out of a 180 on the back straight, or you're gonna go into one. My guess is you're coming out, probably. Maybe.
Corey's asking, what condition would you run reflexes or stalkers or detox?
The reflex is kind of the one that everybody, promotes as the tire you can run at any time. And like if you don't know what to do, you can run reflexes. But I think in general, it's the little lower traction condition tire. And then if the track's getting dustier, more rocks, more marbles, but similar condition as reflex, then you can go to stalkers. And detox is a little cleaner track condition tire. Detox, a little cleaner track condition. Hopefully the track has a little grip to it with some groove or something. And then the detox are amazing.
RJ says, speaking of malls, who else misses Bennigan's after a race or steak and ale?
Yeah.
Pizza Hut was a big one too that we used to go to.
I'm trying to think where we went. The place we went was in Tampa called Hops. That was where we went there a lot. Then when we were in California, the Kinwald place that he used to drag everybody to was called Coco's.
Okay.
Which was kind of like a little bit better of a Denny's kind of thing. But he was like the king of Coco's. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Will Britton's. Man, I missed the iron skillet.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if that iron skillet's open down the road from me, well, it's about 25, 30 miles. I'm going to do the podcast from there one night.
And get the chicken fingers.
Yeah. Right. So we'll just set the phone up and we'll do a podcast from the iron skillet.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I bring all this equipment with me.
You can sit up at the bar like a big wig there at the iron skillet. You know how they have the...
Yeah, let me have a triple cheeseburger, extra cheese, extra bacon. Act like a tough guy. Sit there like, pull up my pants. Let me have one of those burgers.
And a milk.
Don't get stingy with me on it. And a milk.
Milk.
Oh, man. RJ says Tampa had Mons Venus. That's all you really need to know.
And it's still there, as far as I know.
Okay. It's a fine establishment.
I believe from what I was told, they brought Masami there back in the day. Kinwald, they brought him there back in the day. Was it Kinwald that they took all? I don't think that's what it was. It might not have been Kinwald.
All right, we're off that one.
Legends, there it is. Will Britton, go to Legends. That was the place. We went to Legends at the race there at the Plex. We went to Legends every night.
Joe there says the end of Gotti's orders, and I'll have all the fries you can give me.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the bottomless fries? Is that Five Guys?
It's the it's a Red Robin.
Oh, Red Robin. That's it. Yes. Red Robin.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Will's kind of upset that you never asked him to go to Legends.
Sorry.
Yeah, wow. If you're buying Will, Jason will go. Or wait, did I get that wrong? Jason will go with you though. You're allowed to go. Let's put it that way. If you buy, put the Washington Bluestones in the background. Okay, we're getting off track here. The Washington Bluestones. I love that name. The Redskins. The Redskins. Yeah, the Washington football team. I guess they're keeping the name for this year too. Football team. Will says he'll buy, Jason. So next time you're in the Hobbyplex area, make sure you go to Legends because he will buy for you. That's what he'll do for the whole J Concepts crew. So if you have Mayfield and all those guys there, will buy. Joe says Legends is here. We go down to food. Last episode we went down the Iron Skillet Road, and now we're going down the road of all these restaurants that are good to go after a race. So for all you audio listeners there, Legends is not great. I'd rather eat at Quick Trip. Laughing out loud. Okay.
Which is a gas station.
Well, all right. I don't know.
He's like, I'm so hungry I could eat this sandwich from a gas station.
Now that Rob Sturgill says Legends is excellent, so I don't know.
We got a lot of conflicting.
If Rob likes Legends, I don't know if it's any good. Fill up on bread, Will says. All right.
I don't even remember getting bread there. Uh-oh.
What happened? Jason's batteries went dead in his headset. Your batteries go dead, Jason?
They're going dead.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. All right, well, we'll have to wrap it up. Unless you have some more AAAs there.
I think it's still working.
Yeah, that's good.
I like how Will's like, "What you get, Joe? I can recommend something better." He probably gets free food up there.
Yeah. Joe says Quick Trip is more fresh. Here we go. All right.
Nachos.
The show. Good stuff, though.
Super Cup is coming up when we get back.
Wait, when you get back from Oregon?
That's right.
You have a Super Cup race coming up.
Yeah, Super Cup when I come back from Oregon. So the 24th is our Super Cup race, April 24th, which is at Newberry RC. I might actually be able to race there too.
Oh, man, racing.
I'm pretty excited about that. on the big race calendar, it's the Exact RC Challenge is at OCRC that same weekend.
Okay. Busy April.
Yeah, Spencer's doing all these races.
Okay.
So I want to say that.
So what you're saying is I won't see him on Warzone much?
Yeah, I don't know.
Guess not. Not if he's traveling all these races.
What
about Jackson Brunson? Will he be going to all these races also?
No, I think he'll come to the race because going down the line here, the Super Cup is the 24th, Exact RC Challenge that weekend. The next weekend is our Spring Indoor Nationals at SS Raceway and Hobbies. So we'll be there for that.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll be playing Warzone all by myself. Okay. Which I normally do anyway. It's funny. I was playing with Spencer and Brunson a couple weeks ago, playing Warzone, and I wasn't doing too good. And all of a sudden, something happened. I got booted.
You got booted?
I think they kicked me out of the group.
No way.
I think that no. Spencer said they. No, I actually had it booted me out of the menu, and I said, "Hey, you guys go, man. I'm just a bullet sponge."
Bullet sponge.
I'm holding you guys back. I'm not doing anything.
You look like the guy in Terminator 2 taking those bullets.
The thing is, we're playing trios, so there's three of us in a squad, right? It's me, Jackson, and Spencer, and I'm the bullet sponge. Those guys are good. So they're at a disadvantage, really, because the other teams have the three guys, and they really, in all reality, Spencer and Jackson have two. Because, I'm just there, not doing much. So
hey, you're taking one for the team.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if anything, at least they could see where they're coming from because they're shooting me. But, yeah, it wasn't really helpful. So, yeah, that race. And then when you come back from the Northwest, then you got a Super Cup race.
That's right. Then we're going to go to our INS race at Setzers, which a lot of people are looking forward to. I know a lot of guys will be there.
Lee Setzers, Rip the driver.
Yeah.
Run the logo for us. Thank you.
One of those local fast guys here in Florida. Makes the national tour too. Does good.
Yeah.
So then the next note I have here is there was a new top 25 RC released today after PMB. The results there counted towards that. So
do we have? I didn't see it. So is Spencer number one? Is he?
No.
Okay. Bringing that up. Is Will Britton on the list at all?
He is not.
Okay. Joe's there. What about Sturgill? Sturgill's got to be on the top 25.
No.
Will Britton says he would like to go to Lee's track.
Come on, Will.
Yeah. What's holding you back, Will?
Make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll meet you at Legends.
Rob says he's not in the top 25. Shocking. Shocking. All right. Who you got? Who you got, Jason?
Well, the way that this... Whoa, sorry.
You're good.
My earphones freaked out again.
Uh-oh. You're dying. Better make this quick.
So top 25. Right now it's Ryan Mayfield, Davide Angaro, David Ronafalk, Jared Tebow, Ryan Cavallari, Juan Carlos Canas, Ty Tessman, Ricardo Berton, Renaud Savoyard, Elliott Boots, Dakota Fend, Joe Bornhorst, Robert Battle, Cole Ogden, Spencer Rivkin, Kyle McBride, Yao Figueredo, Marco Bruafalo, and Mattia Poletto, Marco Raviglia, Tyler Jones, Adam Drake, Leonardo Valente, then Alex Zankatine, and then Seth Van Dalen is a top 25. So
Seth cracking it. Okay.
So yeah, it's
so Mayfield number one.
Yeah, and this is on a 2-year rotation based off of certain events and going backwards. What this is based off of right now is the 2018 IFMAR Worlds, 2019 Silver State, 2019 Euros warm-up, 2019 AMS 10.0, 2019 RCGP, 2019 Euro Contest, 2019 Roar Nationals, 2019 European Championships, 2019 RCGP rounds 7 and 8, 2019 Winter Race Italy, 2019 Buggyland USA, 2020 January Italian Race, 2020 Montpellier Warm-Up, 2020 Montpellier GP, 2020 Dirt Nitro Challenge, 2020 Psycho Nitro Blast, 2020 Southern Nationals, 2020 AMS 11.0, 2021 Dirt Nitro Challenge, and 2021 Psycho Nitro Blast. So those are the events they are currently that are counting towards this.
Okay.
There's some people that are very against this ranking system. I tend to like it because I think the names are right. I think you can put them where you want, depending on the weekend, of course. You know, it's and people drop down and drop up. Usually what happens to Mayfield is he gets up near the top, and then they get to the Roar Nationals. The last 2 years, he hasn't been in the A main because he had an engine flame out the last 2 years at the Roar Nationals. So he usually climbs his way to the top, and then he had that Roar Nationals where he flamed out in the semifinal and didn't even make the main. So then he drops down, then he works his way back up, then he drops. So if he can get a top 5 at the Roar Nationals, to go with some of these things, he'll be doing quite well. And Spencer has a little bit, not the same thing, but this race we talked about earlier, he broke a shock piston and had to take like a 10th. And that really hurt him in these standings here because he went down 3 places. He was up to 12th, and he's kind of nearing his usually great race of the year is always the Roar Nationals. It's kind of the opposite of Mayfield the last couple of years. Spencer's done really well in 8 scale Roar Nationals. Mayfield's had a problem in the semi, couldn't get out. So yeah, real kind of strange. But you can see it affected Spencer. He dropped 3 places because his shock piston broke and got a bad finish. So people, you could argue that he could be higher, but Dakota Fenn, I think you could argue that he could be a little higher. But in general, here these names are right to me, and it awards people that finish races too. Guys like Cavallari and Tebow, they don't, they can run well and they're amongst the top guys each time. And if they get 5th or 6th, they at least finish and it counts well to this. So that's why they're always right in there.
Yeah, Will says, what's not to like about it? I see some people in the comments that are like, oh, this is bogus. And blah,
yeah,
blah,
they do every single time. And
nobody really backs it up with anything. They just...
Well, but look at the top, for instance, look at the top 5 names. Ryan Mayfield, Davide Ongaro, David Ronafalk, Jared Tebow, Ryan Cavallari. I mean, the names are pretty good.
Yeah.
The only one to me that's down just a touch, and it's because he was in the B main at Nitro Challenge and didn't bump out, was Ty Tessman. So normally he would be up there in the top 5. And if I had to just put, the top 5 out there, I think the guys in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd are definitely the 3 best 8 scale drivers in the world. You can put them in whatever order you want. I think those are the 3 best 8 scale drivers. And then that next tier of guys, which is the Jared Tebow, Cavallari, Ty Tessman, Juan Carlos Canas, Elliott Boots, Dakota Fenn. Those are the kind of guys that I think that, there's some room there. Those guys could be right up there too. So I think when you look at the names here, the names are right. It's just put them in what order you want based on that weekend or who you like. A lot of people just see their guy that they like and they don't see him as quite as high, but that's how it is.
Kurt says, I like the system. It's unbiased, straight data driven. Bottom line is if you have too many DNFs, you're not as good as your ranking.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly right.
And, congratulations to Ryan Mayfield, baby girl born. Wasn't that PMB because baby was due?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, exactly. He didn't do PMB. He knew that it was close, and obviously he was right on the money.
Right. Yeah. On the top 25 list, RJ says he's not in the top 25. That explains that I had a rough 2019. So there you go. That's why RJ didn't make it.
Wasn't in there.
And just a little update on the J Concepts body that RJ is doing. He says, in case anybody is wondering, I was able to salvage this body mounting. It'll be up later on my YouTube channel. Oh, that's right. RJ has promote your YouTube channel. Give me the name there again. And 10 of our listeners will head on over there. Well, 9. My grandma passed away. All right. Yeah, so top 25 rankings just came out today. So Jason, you got to get on the roll. You got to keep racing, try to crack that top 25. See,
I'd have to start racing Nitro.
Right, do that too. You raced Nitro for the first time, and when was that? A couple of years ago, right?
The last time I raced, I raced some e-buggy.
That's what it was, e-buggy. That's what it was.
That was a few years ago already. But I think the last time I raced Nitro, the RC8B3 was brand new. So it must have been like 2015-ish, 20, somewhere around there. Yeah, Kurt giving us some news here. He's got the B6.3 and B6.3D are about to hit the hobby shops if they haven't already. He's dead on. My favorite class, two-wheel drive buggy. We got our buddy there, Keenan, runs the other podcast, the No Name.
Right.
He should come up with a name. He should come up with a name podcast.
I like it. No Name. No Name.
So he has a saying that the Nitro is the glory, e-buggy pays the bills, and then I added to it, but two-wheel buggy pays for skills. So I added that to the hashtags, and it's true. If you got skills in two-wheel buggy, it does pay. So yeah, B6.3.
That I did not.
B6.3 and B6.3D.
All right, so they're hitting the shops this week?
Yep. New updated B6 car. It'd be interesting to get Kurt's perspective on, this B6 has been amazingly successful in its run. I would be interested to hear what he feels of all the generations of associated cars. You got the they should do one, Will, for anyway.
Kurt can call into the show if you'd like.
He could. The generations of two-wheel buggies: the RC10, the B2, the B3, RC10, the B2, the B3, the B4, the B5, and the B6. It'd be interesting to hear where Kurt ranks these vehicles. I'll write down mine here.
There, we'll put the ticker up if you want to call in. If anybody wants to call in,
I say.
Chili wants to call and defend car action, but Jason's headset's going dead, so we got to make it quick.
I think it's just when I touch it, it freaks out.
Oh, okay.
It starts like clicking.
All right, we might be safe then.
So I don't know. So we got. I'm writing down my list of what I feel are Associated's best two-wheel buggies in order. Mm-hmm. I got this one.
Kurt says, line me up as a guest. I already did Will's podcast. Hey, you're more than welcome to come on anytime. You can come on right now if you want to talk about the B6. Phone number's on the bottom of the screen. Anybody can call that number. We'll patch you into the show.
All right. I made my list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 associated buggies, and I just ranked what I kind of, without just the top of my head, I didn't go into anything crazy. I think.
Oh.
What's that?
Somebody trying to call me? It says it's busy. I didn't get no notification. Do I have the right number up there? Yeah. I don't know what that's about. I have it open. Maybe you dialed the wrong number. Oh, okay. RJ. All right. Way to go, RJ. Got guys messing with me.
So here's my ranking.
So what's this ranking of now? I was busy hooking this up.
Now this is without thinking about it too much. I just did this off the top of my head. I'm ranking the top associated two-wheel buggies of all time. So they have six versions.
6.
We're on the B6.
Yep.
So my ranking is, I think the B4 is the
There
best.
we go. We might have to. We'll take this, Jason. We'll get to your rankings in a moment. I believe we have someone on the line.
Kurt Wing. To accept, press 1.
Oh, I gotta accept it. There we go. Kurt.
So my ranking is,
What's up?
You might have to lower the volume on your TV or radio or whatever you're listening.
If I turn the volume down, can I still hear what Jason's saying?
I think
you'll be able to hear it on the phone here, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I can hear you, Jason.
Okay.
There we go. That's better. I don't got no feedback now.
We're live. Yeah, I turned off my audio.
There you go. All right. We got Kurt Winger on the line.
Team Associated Engineer.
Jason's list. I want to hear it.
The Team Associated Engineer. All right. He wants to hear your list, Jason.
So my list was the B4 being number 1. I think the B6 2, the RC10 3, then the B2, the B5, and the B3 last. That was off the top of my head without thinking too far into it. But that's how I feel that they're ranked right now.
Kurt, you still there?
Wow, that's interesting.
There you go. Okay. Sounds like
It's hard to say what the criteria are.
I know.
I can down my list off the top of my head, maybe, and I tried to go more off of historical significance and impact.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, then the RC10 is number 1, right?
Then I had to go RC10 number 1, and then I had to go B4 number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to go with the B6, the first laydown car. And with the way the debut happened, they kept it really quiet, dropped it to the EOS race.
Yeah.
I felt like that snuck in there.
Yeah. I mean, I had it as number 2. So, yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And
I guess they all have a special place in line. I would say the next significant jump, and I'm one of the only people that's driven it, is the B6.3. And then, you know what? I left the 6.1 in there. I thought the gearbox design, the 3-piece gearbox, was pretty hot on the 6.1 series. I thought that was kind of a quantum leap step. I might put that above the 6.3 and 6.2 because I thought they made a pretty big jump there. And then I'll go B6, B6.1, B6.3, B6.2, and B5M.
Okay.
That's a little bit. Now, deep down in my heart, the B5M is actually way higher up on the list because it's probably the one that we raced the longest, and it was the first mid-motor production car.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of the last longer lifespan car that was actually out for 2 or 3 years before a revision came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a ton of fun with that thing. So it definitely doesn't necessarily deserve the traditional last place. But I could see bumping it up because it was the first production mid-motor car. And it really started a new era of racing. So
yeah, it was significant.
That's my logic.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
But if it had to race against the other ones, that's why it kind of got bumped down.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, so we got the B.
What else you guys want to talk about?
Well, talk about this while we're talking about the B6. Talk about the B6.3. Everybody sees these.
Yeah.
These variations of the cars. It goes 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Sometimes they start to get a little. Can there really be much different going on here? But
do I really need to get this? Yeah. I can see that. And I know the 6.2 was really cool. You got the new kind of rear arms and rear end and hub assembly, and that was obviously they kind of brought back the two different chassis lengths, which the B6 and the B6.1. They kind of played with the chassis length, and it kind of came out in the wash that you really need a longer wheelbase for high traction. And that was one of the big things. And then you got the fine tuning, the adjustable hub design. And the other cool thing was the longer drive shaft and the special carpet rear end. So we kind of took that rear end development and just kept working on it. And that's where we kind of landed on really the best handling was to run the 73 millimeter, the traditional length rear arms, but to run the longest possible drive shaft. So we made up some prototype parts and tested it. And then we did some more development with changing the rear link geometry. So you'll notice the kit setups on both the cars are different for where the rear upper link is. And when I first tested that, I was like, holy cow, this is hands down, like it totally transforms the car. It makes it so much more predictable traction wise, as far as even when I'm on a really loose track, it doesn't break loose the same. It's got more traction, more drive out of the corners. So I tested it over at the track in Austin at Thornhill, and I was like, holy cow, this is like no contest. This rear end package with the long drive shaft and the new suspension mounts and the short arms, it was like head and shoulders above the two previous versions from the B6.2. So then we took that and tested it at OCRC at like the Surf City Classic after the race, and I was testing it at the race, working on what would end up being like the kit setup for dirt, and then tried it on carpet and on all the surfaces. It seemed to be the best all around. So now the carpet and the dirt cars have the exact same parts in the box. It's just a different setup and a different chassis length.
So the carpet car is longer, the dirt car is shorter, right?
Yeah.
And then
so like the chassis plates are pretty much the same length as the 6.1 and 6.1 for dirt, which carried over to the 6.2 dirt, and then the 6.2 carpet with that +3 chassis length is the same length that comes in it. The biggest other thing we tuned a lot with was the chassis flex, and so that's where we redesigned the servo mount and mounted the servo straight to the chassis so that the side rails are not linked to the servo, and there's nothing bridging across the left and the right. And that was the other really significant thing that changed the handling of the car. So it's basically the same chassis plates, but they have the servo mount hole drilled into the chassis plate.
And then the carpet car comes with a fluid diff, right? Gear diff.
Yes. Still the gear diff in it. And we kind of put the new latest setup notes on there. The cool thing is the carpet car comes with the steel chassis plate. It comes with the sway bar set. So basically the sway bars that we run in the race are the ones that come in the box. The same springs come in it that, Spencer used at the race in Vegas. So you're basically fully outfitted to race on carpet. I think the one thing that doesn't come in the box still, just because of the price point, was the aluminum bulkhead, just to get the extra weight in the front. It still comes with the molded plastic bulkhead in the box.
Okay.
We looked at it, and it was just gonna make the kit price too high, so it's still an option part.
Cut.
But
That's good. So talk to us about the the other cars we were kind of running there when we did the race at 702, our race. What was, you guys got the 4-wheel drive car working really good for Spencer. That was the Classy 1. What was kind of funny is I thought, and I'm sure you probably could have thought when we first started, that Spencer, the Classy, was going to be most competitive in was 2-wheel drive, which he was the whole time, but 4-wheel's the one that kind of ended up going his way and getting the win there. You guys making some strides with the 4-wheel too, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I worked on the 4-wheel development, and we did a bunch of clutch development, and that's when the new spur gear and slipper pads came out. And that made its way onto the 4-wheel drive car and the new carpet version car. So the interesting thing that once we got the 4-wheel drive going, we could really see a difference in the chassis stiffness. For dirt, one of the things that obviously came out on the B74.1 was running the 2mm G10 chassis plates. And Spencer's car, we ended up going back to the 2.5mm carbon fiber, which is the stiffest option. And then we noticed that Cole was having some trouble with his car freewheeling, and he went to the stiff chassis plates. So that was a big deal. And we just tuned it a lot. The 4-wheel drive kind of started off a little farther off the mark. So we if you would have watched on Friday, you had said we would have been farther off, but we made those changes to the chassis stiffness and tuning, like the diff thicknesses and the tuning, what we were doing with how we were cutting the tire inserts to make it, dial in the perfect amount of front traction. And we got way faster and kind of went from there from our Friday baseline. We had something that was easy to drive. We just were able to keep making it faster. And it was cool. He ended up winning. That was the class we didn't think we were going to win. We ended up being. Are you still there?
Did we drop him?
Yeah, no.
You still there?
I heard you.
Oh, okay.
I'm still here. I stopped talking.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of went out for a second, but yeah, I mean, that was a good event. And then we're gonna, we just got through PMB. We talked about that. Spencer got a couple wins there, and so he's really kind of showing the past year here, showing some diversity in the classes he's running, and kind of the nitro stuff seems to be coming around a little more for him on some of these 8-scale style tracks, we'll call them. Some of the running he's doing starting to pay off a little bit, and the cars are getting better too.
Yeah, that's what I club race 8-scale at home. So we've really been grinding on the 8-scale for the last year, and it's really paying off. Luckily, I've been able to race through the whole COVID thing, and Spencer's been able to go out and run in Arizona. So we've constantly been working together, and the more trips to the track, the more we refine everything and come to kind of what is a really good baseline that we've been able to take to several different tracks. It started with going to Southern Nationals in West Monroe in September last year, and we've just been working together all winter. And it's kind of paying off, and you're able to show up and be on pace in practice and just have everything a lot more refined.
Good. Well, I mean, that's obviously the thing we're looking for. And Just to kind of, as we're kind of talking about the different platforms while you're here, talk about the little bit the stadium truck and the short course. I know it's kind of, I wouldn't say an afterthought, but it's always like the one we don't talk about the most. But I know watching the 13.5 truck when we were at 702, I know Jovi, his truck looked awesome on the carpet. Better than when we were at that race, or I was at the race at Hobby Action, and they're running a modified truck there. I thought they looked horrible. And then we ran on the carpet, and Jovi's 13.5 truck, that thing looked really good there. And what do you think about those two vehicles as we kind of go through the lineup real quick?
Yeah, I know. We had really good success. A lot of people don't know that at the OCRC Surf City, we were actually racing the T6.2 part on the truck. Modified truck, they still worked really good. It kind of faded a little bit. I feel like 13.5 is the perfect motor for truck class, and would like to just see a common truck class versus having modified. And that truck obviously got the biggest facelift with the gull wing suspension, and trucks have always kind of had a problem that they're really wide, and the maximum wheelbase relative to the width, as far as the rules are, is limiting to how it handles. So we're always stretching out the wheelbase, but it would be nice to make that truck a little bit longer for how wide it is, and it would drive a lot more, maybe like a buggy, because it has the same tire front and rear. You're always fighting it, being aggressive. So I think if truck could ever change to like a lower profile, larger rim instead of a 2.2 rim, that would give us some more design room to change, I know, the front end, and maybe make the scrub radius different and make it a little easier to drive. But the wheel and tire is a little bit limiting, and then the wheelbase is the other limiting thing that makes the car pitch a lot. So the gull wing suspension was a huge benefit because it naturally doesn't pitch weight to the rear when you come out of the corners, and it doesn't throw the weight forward going into corners. So it's just a huge leap forward and being easier to drive on high traction. And I know Dustin said his truck has been awesome. He's been able to just have it be the old faithful and charge it up, pull it off the trailer on seating, and be up to speed and competing for the win. So I think everyone that has it is really happy with the T6.2. And I know with four-wheel drive getting so good, the truck class definitely has taken a back seat to 13.5 four-wheel.
Yeah.
And I raced it, and I understand why. Four-wheel drive 13.5 is awesome. It's like the perfect speed that you can have a really fast car, and all the different skill levels can run it.
Yeah. So, and then the short course, which we don't get a lot of opportunity to see those run, like we did in the we'll call it mid 2000s when everything was short course, 2010, 11. But, now you don't see it a lot, but you still have another significant update you did with that, the SC 6.2 also, right?
Yeah, the 6.2 kind of got the same treatment, and a lot of people, I guess the main thing to address is a lot of people wondered why it doesn't have the same suspension as the T6.2, and we actually did a lot of testing with Spencer and Brent running it, and the big difference is, like I said before, the width of the vehicle and the wheelbase. The short course has incredibly long wheelbase, and it's narrower, so it's got a totally different set of challenges. And the gull wing suspension, everything that it helps on the T6.2, it hurts you on short course, because on short course you got narrower tires and a long wheelbase, so you need the car to transition weight to the rear. so that you have traction coming out of the turn. And the same thing on the front end. So we kind of found that in testing it, that you need to have a gull wing on the front and the rear, or flat arms on the front and the rear. And mixing and matching didn't work as good, especially on short course when we tested it. So that's the reason why it just flat out wasn't as fast. And the other interesting thing was, short courses, you're always worried about traction rolling and leaning, and the gull wing arm, they don't let the suspension lean as much. So with the short course, the gull wing suspension actually traction rolls more, and you want the car to go in a turn and lean and have body roll, so it won't break loose and it won't flip. So those are the reasons why the SD 6.2 ended up with the flat arm setup. We did a new rear tower, and it has the new rear hub set up on it with hexes and everything to kind of match the geometry. So you get some of those cool features and the fan mount and everything, but we always put the best handling setup in the box. And the other cool thing that the trucks, in revamping the kits, is they all have the front sway bar in the box, which was a cool benefit that you had to buy before, and now it comes in the box.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I don't know if you want to give a maybe an update on any events you might be coming to next, or doing in the upcoming future, or maybe some stuff you got going on with your own company. Maybe you want to talk about, maybe you got something going there, or any events you might be doing coming up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I mainly race club racing at the famous Thornhill and outside of Austin, Texas. So I live in the Texas Hill Country now, doing the small town life. So I go race out there. There's some other fun tracks. There's an outdoor track in San Antonio called Oatsified that Justin Oates hosts on his property. I've been out there to run. It's super fun. But I'm probably going to go race the Southern Nats in West Monroe, and then the Thornhill Series races. And then we got the AKA, I won't say that again, competing tire brand, but
That's okay.
Spec Tire Nats at Thornhill in a few weeks. So I'm excited to go run that and have all the team associated customers out there. I've heard a lot of talk about the new track. There's an A1 outdoor track out in Dallas Fort Worth area, and there's a carpet track called Gold Star that opened up. So there's two kind of new places in Texas that I might go visit later this year and get some more track time, but kind of a hike. So I'll be doing those, and then I'll probably be doing some 10 scale races with with Spencer and Brent and the guys. They're all racing at OCRC at the exact race. I won't be at that one, but could be out for the Surf City Classic.
Okay, that's good.
Maybe we'll do a J Concepts race or something, but kind of doing the 8 scale running this year again, and then just some sporadic 10 scale stuff. We kind of finished and got 10 scale kits out, so I think everybody's kind of pretty set up on that, and we got a lot of running time on the parts and got everybody up to speed. So I'm not going to be racing that very much.
You coming to the 8 scale nationals up in my neck of the woods here?
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Spencer's pretty excited about it. He wants to get the title back.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe I'll see you there then. Cool.
We could be out there. TJ and I might come out and give them a run for their money. Mayfield's pretty hard to beat with that one. He's been on a tear. And then I know Ty has missed a few events being stuck up in Canada, but the competition of the 8 scale races has been pretty insane. I know Associated's been pretty stacked in 10 scale. And the 8 scale is kind of the more competitive scene right now with so many good manufacturers and drivers.
Yeah, absolutely.
It definitely has a different feel to it. We're a little bit more of an underdog, but we're trying to always be more and more progressing towards showing up and being up to speed and not be scrambling around fighting the car. So it's been getting better and better.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, we'll let you go, and we're gonna kind of finish up what we're doing here.
We'll have to have Kurt on again sometime when we get him
we
on.
got to do a full rundown with Kurt, but that was a nice little segue into some new products people are curious about.
Yeah. So I will turn down your shameless free plug opportunity. If anybody wants to get anything for their B6.3, shellracing.com. Got upgrade bearing sets. The Nova slipper clutch is an awesome one, especially for spec racers. Just got another huge order of titanium screws coming in if you want to bling out your car. So we've got all that stuff on the site if you want to get it. And then I'm also obviously working with the Team Associated team, and Billy Hayden is the other 10th scale engineer, and we got a whole cool list of factory team option parts and other stuff that are coming out. So we just ran a fine tooth comb through the website and made sure that everything that fits the B6.3 is on there. So if you go to the Team Associated site, go to those B6.3 pages. We don't have all the photography done for every single thing, but all the new stuff is up there, so you can plan to get it and grab all the new option parts and stuff. And as they come in, there'll be press releases going out on those too. So it's kind of been a busy time just making sure everything is up on the site and listed, and the manuals and stuff. So there you go.
We have a comment here from a listener, Vin. You want to help me out there, Jason? Last name?
Manchanda.
Manchanada.
All right, there we go. He said he's packing for LCRC now. Hope to see you guys there. Always a pleasure to hear Kurt. So smart. There you go.
Oh yeah, we talked to my buddy Rob Allen, Team J Concepts. He's just sent me pictures. He said they're going out this weekend to race. He's got his J Concepts tires glued up.
What, LCRC?
He sent me a picture of the fleet. Yeah, they're going out. LCRC's hitting it this weekend.
Okay, yeah, it's our season opener.
They've got an event out there. They got the season kicking off.
Well, Jason, maybe I better drive down there.
Yeah.
Hang out with the guys. Trying to get Jason to go, but he has a big race this weekend in Oregon. So, well, I hope to see you out there, Kurt.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I hope to come out for the event, and we'll get the whole gang out there and try to get. I mean, we skipped 2020, so we're still the defending national champion.
That's true.
Try to get a repeat.
Yeah.
And if we had a bye week in there.
Yeah. A bye year. Yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing you out in LCRC, and maybe you could buy me dinner or something. That'd be great.
For sure.
Yeah.
I thought you were supposed to buy me dinner. I'll buy you barbecue when you come to Texas.
Oh well.
We go to the Italian place, Gotti, right around the corner, right? That's our place.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, down at LCRC. Yep.
Yeah, that's the place to go.
Yeah, we'll get Kurt to buy us lunch from there.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
All right, Kurt. Thanks for being on the show. Appreciate it, and we'll get you on when you could do a full episode with us. So that'd be great.
Okay.
All right, Kurt.
See you later.
See ya. All right, Kurt dropping off. That was good. Some good info there for you guys.
We got a comment question here. Tanya Barker.
Okay, let me pull that up here for you. There you go. Tanya Barker.
Yeah, had a conversation.
Says, hello, Jason. You had a conversation with my boyfriend Mel at a old Schumacher driver. He was very impressed with the twin pins / swagger combo, mainly with the wear of the tires and how his times didn't change much after 3 to 4 runs. remember now, he is old and slower. That was at the Western Nationals.
Yeah, so
You
when
met,
we were
Mel.
out there in Vegas,
Mhm.
you know what? Yeah, we've had a lot of success with the twin pins and swaggers. It's definitely it's up until now, it's our best combination for carpet. There's definitely no doubt about it. Especially the Calandra type stuff. Been a great tire. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, we're just really happy with how they worked. We came out with pre-mounted ones because we knew people like that too. So we have pre-mounted versions of the swaggers and twin pins for two-wheel drive. We're working on a front. We don't have that yet, but working on it. And yeah, old Schumacher driver. There's a lot of those out there. It's I was an old Schumacher driver.
Yeah, I remember you saying. Yeah. I loved the Schumacher back in the day. Could not afford that Cat XLS. That's what it was, yeah. Wanted that four-wheel drive bad. That was big money back then. All right. Did I miss this one here? Darren says, what did you do to modify the tire inserts?
I saw that come up, but I'm not sure who mentioned that, if it was Kurt or it was me. Maybe he can elaborate if he's still on.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the chat. Could be in the chat.
It might have been somebody in the chat. Will says he needs to get him some of those screws that Kurt was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And Jason, you were correct on Vin's last name there. Of course he was. I'm terrible with last name. So. And good friend Alman McLean's checking in. Snap, another one. Someone's about to become less productive.
Yep.
That's the whole goal, make you guys less productive. All right, so this weekend, Northwest Nationals out in Oregon. Concept Nationals. Jason's heading out there. Jason's racing 2 classes.
Yep, with the same car, 40 plus and 2-wheel mod.
Right.
And, definitely haven't raced since December, so hopefully I can get around. And last time I ran our carpet race in December, I got around okay. So hopefully we'll see.
Okay. We'll check in. Hopefully next week we check in and see how Jason did.
Mm-hmm.
How the team did. Kick some ass out there.
It's going to be good. We got some top guys running. So it's going to be good. Watch those videos.
You have Mayfield and those guys showing up?
Well, not Mayfield because of the new berth, but we got some good guys. You'll see.
Yeah. Okay. And I could watch that action on J Concepts. You guys are going to be doing live video?
Yeah, we are. And Matt Olson's going to be there for us. He's going to be running the live media through our Facebook page, YouTube.
Okay.
And he's going to be running it through Mod Media. So
Mod Media?
Yep.
Okay. How do I find that? Just Google
Matt Olson. Yeah, I think on Facebook he's got a Mod Media page, or maybe it's just his mod page. I can't remember, but
so he's got the race up there. I can watch it.
Yeah, and it'll be live on J Concepts Facebook too.
Yeah, great. I can sit home and watch that.
I hope he brings the perch. He calls it. That's his. He bought this cool aluminum. It like scissors up, so he's got a higher vantage point to video the track.
Oh, wow!
And pretty cool piece. I'll take a picture of it. I told him if he sees another one for sale on, I don't forget where he said he got it, Facebook Marketplace or something. I'm like, if you see another one, I'm like,
grab it.
I'll buy it. I'll buy it from you because I thought it was cool. So
awesome. Justin Jubert is asking me to go to LCRC to do a race report. And look, I'm going to the Nationals in June, so going to 2 of them might be asking a little much.
There's going to be like 300 entries there for their season opener, I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's going to be packed.
Maybe I'll make the trip down there Saturday.
That'd be good. Get some Italian food.
Right. Definitely getting it in June, though.
I know. I can't wait.
Yeah, really good. All right, that is it. Episode 223. We're gonna head on out. Jason, have a safe trip out there.
Thanks.
All the guys that are heading to that race, have a safe trip. Kick some ass. J Concepts. Get more victories. That's what we want. More wins. More W's. Eat those W's.
That's right.
Eat those dubs. All right, guys. We'll see you. Hopefully next week we'll get a race report from Jason, see how he did out there. So till then, we'll see you.
Check us out online.
jconcepts.net. Watch the action this weekend. See ya.